Hi there, and welcome to Bullish Structures. My name is Ted Bullard, and I am the founder of Bullish Structures. And I want to take a few minutes and talk to you about who we are, the differences in our homes, what makes us unique in the marketplace. So, starting with who we are, Bullish Structures was started about a year ago after a passion of mine researching this industry for a few years. And I came across the option of container homes and shipping container homes, and even things like foldable containers and flat pack containers, and all these different options and terms that I've never heard of. And so I decided to look into this extensively. And what I discovered was a affordable housing option that we really didn't have in the United States at the time. So we had the modular homes and trailer homes, and people were building tiny homes and converting sheds into homes. The problem with that is if you take the average shed, and let's say it's a 14 by 40 foot shed, but if you take that shed as is, a shell essentially, what I was finding was an average cost of around $25,000. That's with no upfitting. So that's no insulation, that's no kitchens and bathrooms and floorings and all the additional options that we would all want in a home. And so very quickly, that seemingly great deal started to skyrocket. By the time you were done, you were spending triple that. So that same shed was going to cost you $75,000 or more to build a good quality home that you could count on. So there weren't a ton of options at that time. And that's when I discovered some of these other home types that we have since partnered with. So we do not manufacture the home right here in the good old USA. I wish we did, guys, but the truth is to create those homes from scratch here in the US was cost prohibitive, meaning we could do it. And we looked at all of our competitors, or as many as we could find that were in the similar vein. The problem is most of those houses that would have been a container style house, those are only about 320 square feet. So not a big residence, but we were finding starting price points of around $100,000, with some of them even starting at $140,000 and up. We just felt that was astronomical. Along the way, it was, hey, how do we get the price down? Well, to import all those parts was going to cost us way more than if we imported the entire house. So importing those parts came from really 3 countries aside from the United States. And unfortunately, because we don't manufacture a lot of those parts here in the United States, the vast majority of our parts and components had to come from outside the United States. Places like Mexico, India, China. And so instead of importing the parts, we realized that there are factories out there, companies in those countries that are manufacturing the entire home. And believe it or not, it was actually more cost effective to partner with them and have that home manufactured in their factory, climate controlled, exactly the way you want it, and then to import it here to the US. So that is our business model. Why should you care? Well, number one, because you save a lot of money. Let me give you an example. The houses I just mentioned on average that are $100,000 to $140,000, our houses start around $50,000 if we're talking a base model container style home. Now, obviously we can go up in that price depending on what you add. But again, the starting price for a lot of those container homes from the competitors out there are starting at double and triple that price. So that is a massive advantage we have. Now, let's get to it. What is the biggest difference in our container homes, shipping container or standard container? I'm going to explain to you the difference, by the way, because some of you are going, you keep saying shipping container and then container. What is the difference? I'm going to show you. If you haven't already seen it on our website, I'm going to explain that. But the biggest difference is if we built that house here in the United States, we would use traditional construction methods for the walls and the ceiling, meaning we would use drywall, we would frame it out, we would use standard insulation, just like you see in a stick-built house. But in order to do that, we would need to minimize the movement of that house, because otherwise the drywall, even the wood, the framing could crack, and now we have a problem. So we have instead gone with a newer technology called SIP panels. If you haven't looked into that, please do. A SIP panel is a breakthrough in construction because it uses thin sheets of sheet metal on either side, and in between we can do things like rock wool insulation or polyurethane, which is far superior in terms of the durability and certainly from a safety standpoint because it's fireproof. So it's a massive advantage over traditional construction. What's the downside? Well, one of the downsides is you don't want to take your drill and drill holes into that SIP panel because it's metal. right? So that is the biggest difference between this type of construction using SIP panels versus traditional construction using drywall. So what if you want to hang something on the wall? It's very simple. They are the 3M type of pegs and nails and anchors that you can get at virtually any store, Amazon, that is extremely durable, that can hang, even televisions will hang from this. So there's ways that you can get around that. You don't have to drill holes in anything, nor should you want to do that. But that's really the biggest difference. So getting that out of the way, aside from that, there really is no difference in terms of the quality and the upgrades and the customization that we can provide. So maybe you've seen a shipping container or a container style home somewhere on YouTube, or maybe you saw it online and you said, man, that is beautiful. I'd love to build something just like that. Well, give us that design and we can. And we can do it in a climate controlled factory. And then what we will do is work with you to make sure that you're happy with that design before we ever get started. And then once you say, yep, that's exactly what I want, from the exterior finishes to the color, to the flooring, to the ceiling, to the lights, the countertops in the kitchen, the bathroom, whatever it is, we will make sure you're happy with it. Once you give us the green light, it's off to the races. Construction begins. And typically, depending on the complexity of your job, it may take us 45 days. It could take us 60 to 90 days, depending on the complexity of what you want. Now it's a matter of getting it here. On average, it's about a 45-day process. So the average time from start to finish is around 90 days, could be 120 days, but again, it depends on where it's going. Okay, so let me talk to you a little bit about a container home versus shipping container home and what is the difference. So a shipping container home is exactly what it sounds like. It's typically either a standard or a high cube style container that uses corrugated steel that has the ridges on the side that we're all familiar with. Okay, that is a traditional shipping container home versus a container home. And I'm going to actually show you on our website what a container home would look like. So a container home, if you haven't already seen it, is a very unique product, and it is going to look like this. That's a container home. So let me actually go here to the shop section and I'll get into more detail about the container home and you can see for yourself. So as you can see, our 40-foot container house starts at $60,000. And let's click on that and let's look at some of the options here. So again, these are SIP panel walls, SIP panel style ceilings. From a customization standpoint, there's a kitchen style, but there are many different styles to choose from. In fact, you can actually customize it beyond what you see in these photos here. So here's a couple of different options. But again, if you see a picture, if you have something in mind specifically that you want for your kitchen, you let us know. And the chances are, as long as it'll fit safely within this space, we can make that happen. Same thing for the bathroom. Maybe you want a full soaker tub plus a shower built in. Maybe you want the dual vanities. We can do that as well. So again, anything you think of, for the most part, we can do that. Now, the container house is unique from a shipping container house. How so? Well, let's take a look here. So notice the exterior. This is not corrugated steel. And the reason for that is because we use the same steel frame as you would see with a shipping container house. The difference is the walls are SIP panels. Why does that matter? Well, it matters because if we were to do anything to the exterior of this house and it was a standard shipping container with corrugated steel, such as the doors and windows, now there's the risk of it being damaged. We have to specially wrap it and put it in what's called an open container. Well, that shipping cost is double, possibly triple the price. So it's significantly more money. So this is a way that we're able to bring you the same durability, high quality home, all the same features you know and love, but we're able to put it inside of a container so that we can save you, the customer, money. So that really is the biggest difference, unless you're looking at a high cube style container, in which case those are about 6 inches longer. In fact, this is more of a high cube style container here, it's taller, 6 inches wider. That is the main difference. So that's a brief overview of who we are, why we got started. What the difference is between us and most is simple: quality. Guys, all of these container homes, shipping container, etc., that we offer you, they are not all the same. Let me give you an example. So before we settled on our partner today, we sent auditors to these factories, multiple factories, and we graded them. 72-page reports is what we received back at each one of these factory audits, including pictures of every piece of machinery. We took a look at the entirety of the factory, from the manufacturing part, the equipment itself, to the finishing areas, meaning where the homes are loaded into these containers and then brought to you or brought to us. So everything is analyzed, pictures, videos, and everything is ranked in terms of a quality score. And we get to measure that. Again, we can put weights on all those different categories. So we may say, hey, the quality control is the most important thing, 10 out of 10, which we did, by the way, meaning that is way more important than who's working in their customer service department. Why? Because we are your customer service. So I hope that gives you some insight on who we are, what we do, how we do it. I hope this has answered any questions you may have. If you have any additional questions, please contact us using the contact form, send us an email, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. But we wish you all the best, whatever decision you go. And by the way, our representatives are going to give you the best options, period. That may mean steering you in another direction, because we want you to get the home of your dreams, even if it's not from us. All right. Thank you so much on behalf of all of us here at Bullish Structures. Have a great day.